So before we get into Season 2 Reloaded, which is of course coming, should be this week, we had a new event, the Shadow Hunt event, and Ace made a video, or the exclusive Ace made a video, said we need more events like this in Call of Duty Black Ops 6. And I think I know what he is getting at with this, but I'm curious to hear what he has to say, because do I think the Shadow Hunt event was the best event that we ever received within a Call of Duty game? No, absolutely not. But it is miles better than the other events that we got in Black Ops 6. And I'm assuming that's what he's going to say here, break down what the event was and why it was good. But I'm curious about this one. People don't often dive into what a game does right, normally what they do wrong. So I want some positivity here, if the video will play. There we go.
What's up guys, my name is Ace, and the Shadow Hunt event is now live for Black Ops 6, and today I just wanted to have a very short video talking about how this particular event works, and my thoughts on this event, because I personally really like how they're handling this one, and I'd like to see more of this going forward. Now, when it comes to breakdown videos of the gameplay content that we're getting from this event, I've already covered Slipstream in yesterday's video, so if you guys are curious about that,
you actually watched that one on the channel.
I broke down all of the details on how that perk works, and I will leave a link to that video in the description of this one. And then on top of that, I do plan on having a full breakdown of the new binary trigger for the Tonto 22 coming soon, as well as,
I don't know how I felt about the binary trigger.
The TR2 or FAL, which is the final event reward for this. So with all that in mind, we're not covering the details of those in this video. Let's go over how this specific event works and how it's different from most of the events we've seen so far in Black Ops 6. Now with this one, all you have to do is complete 6 challenges, and these are in-game challenges, some of which require you to do specific.
So what I will say about this is these challenges are really, really easy. So for example, multiplayer, the one that he's looking at here, get 5 kills using melee weapons. Super ridiculously easy, well doable in one game.
Things in game, and keep in mind I'm just looking at the multiplayer side of things here, and with these we work on them all simultaneously. It's not like you have to complete one before moving on to the next one. You can work on all of them at the same time, and one of them is just earn 50,000 score. So just play a little bit, you'll get the score required to complete that one.
That one's the one that took me the longest.
100 eliminations using a weapon with a suppressor.
That took me 2 games.
Another one, which is probably going to take the longest out of all of these, is simply win 5.
So the 50,000 score took well longer for me than the win 5 matches, and I think that was because it's score, not XP. So your score is actually about half of the amount of XP that you get. So
5 matches.
That's why I struggled with that one.
Then we have one that requires you to get a kill without taking damage 30 times.
Easy,
then for
one game.
Slipstream, we have to get 5 kills using melee weapons. For that binary trigger on the Tonto 22, we have to kill 10 enemies that are revealed by the spy camera or your proximity mine.
And then that one is use the proximity alarm on stakeout and just throw it in either spawn and get kills.
And once you complete all 6 of those, then you get the final reward, which again is the TR2 marksman rifle. So this is actually quite a straightforward event, and honestly, if you're working toward it, you should be able to complete this with very little gameplay time. I would say this should take most players between like 1 to 2 hours, depending on how capable you are of getting wins, of course. Like I said, that's probably going to be the main bottleneck for most players, especially solo players out there. Obviously, if you play in a party, that's going to be much easier, and it shouldn't take you very long at all. And this is the type of event that I really like to see in Call of Duty.
I have a problem with this event that I will get to, but I'm curious. I want to hear what he has to say first.
Saw quite a few events like this in Modern Warfare 3, although most of those events had more than just 6 challenges attached to them, and there was a bit more involved with having to complete them. I really wouldn't mind if they had a few more challenges tagged into this event.
Yeah, there should have been more, I agree.
6, maybe have like 8 to 10 challenges that you have to complete. But that's getting a little bit nitpicky. The primary thing here is I really like this style of an event, because
it's better than XP, it's better than just getting kills.
Any player can accomplish this in a reasonable amount of time. It's not like it takes a ton of skill or grinding, even for a lower skill player, to get through this event. But what I really like about it is it may push you a little bit outside of your comfort zone, or it may push you in the direction of using something or doing something that you don't normally do with your gameplay. So for me, for instance, I never use my melee weapon. I'm just not that interested in it in most of my gameplay time. And outside of my melee comparison video...
So I completely agree with this. I completely agree with what he is saying and why he is saying it. This is the exact sort of thing that you want out of an event. You want to be able to have fun playing the game, but maybe in a little bit different of a way than you would otherwise. Now, for the challenges, they were super easy to complete, but yes, that's exactly what they did. I didn't use the proximity alarm ever until this event. I almost never used melee weapons unless I was going for camos until this event. Suppressors I didn't have on any of my classes until this event. So all of these things were ways for me to play the game a little bit differently. But the only way for me to play differently was via challenges. I also think the events should have playlists that go along with them, kind of like we had with the Squid Games event. So if you take the Squid Games event and then add this sort of challenges to it instead of just get XP, that is when I think you get a really good event, combining those two things. Now, I do like that they added in the small map mosh pit playlist, but like the other ones, like the Valentine's Day ones, they're just small little variants of modes that already exist, like face off and like gunfight. So I thought those playlists were dumb.
I haven't even touched melee weapons, but with this event, I've got to go in and get at least 5 kills with a melee weapon, and that's really easy to achieve, but it's something where I'm
pretty sure you can go watch it. It's on the channel. I think I got all 5 melee kills in one life.
To go into a game with that specific goal in mind. Similarly, the spy cam and proximity alarm, I don't really use those pieces of tactical equipment at all. I pretty much just use stim shot all the time.
Yep, me too.
And once again, this event pushes me to use those items and give them more of a shot than I have in the past, at least in this game. And to me, having specific challenges like this is just so much more interesting than earn XP or collect X number of these items that will drop randomly from some enemies that you kill. Those things don't really require you to go into the game with much of a goal. Those types of challenges for events, I find to be very boring because it's basically just play the game.
Yep.
And maybe in some games go out of your way a little bit to pick that item up after you kill somebody. But realistically, you're not like going into each match with a specific goal in mind and perhaps changing up how you're approaching the gameplay. It's literally just keep playing the game and you'll get these rewards. So this is why I really want to see more of this style of an event going forward instead of just earn XP or pick up the items that enemies drop. And again, like I said, I wouldn't mind if it were a little bit more involved as well and maybe had a bit more gameplay time attached to it. But overall, I do like
I agree
the
with
fact
that. I think it was a little too short.
Simple and basic for anybody to go out and complete it. Yeah, you might have to change up what you're using a little bit, but it's not like it's going to be that challenging to actually get through it. Like in this case, it's not like I'm going to be stuck having to go melee only for hours at a time or anything to get that melee challenge complete. Yeah, so that's a good point. I think most players can quite easily get that accomplished in one single game of getting some melee.
That's why I think they should make the challenges just like a little bit harder. Like I think it should be like 10 or 15 melee kills. And then I think the other parts shouldn't be more difficult, but there should be more challenges, if that makes sense.
So I think this is a great idea to use the event system to introduce some more gameplay variety and break up the monotony of the standard everyday gameplay without also introducing a really long and frustrating grind that would push people out of their comfort zone for too long. Now, on top of this, I've got to say the gameplay-related rewards for this event are pretty crazy when you consider how quickly and easily we can earn all of these.
This is a really good point,
too. We have a brand new perk, Slipstream. We have the binary trigger mod for the Tonto 22, which is going to perform unlike any other gun in this game, so it's almost like it's a new gun being added to the game. And then there is an actual new gun.
You know what's wild? And I just realized this. This event happened every single week in Modern Warfare 3. I didn't realize this until now, but literally each week there was multiple weekly challenges that you had to complete a certain number of to earn basically the binary trigger for the Tonto every single week. This has been the first time that there was a challenge like this. And keep in mind, like I'm assuming Ace is about to say, there were more things in this event. Like there was an extra weapon. There was a perk, things like that. Perk that's actually really, really good if you haven't used it yet. And so yeah, there was more to it, but still, it's the exact same type of event that Modern Warfare 3 had every single week, just with weekly challenges, which is wild to think about. I didn't realize that till right now.
Which is the TR2. And for a 1 week event with these very basic challenges attached to them, that is a lot of gameplay content packed all together. And I think that's great, but I also wouldn't mind if they were to spread this stuff out a little bit more as well. If we could get a short and sweet, simple event like this every single week, or at least most weeks in the game, and then just get one of these items per week as the final reward for that event, I'd be totally on board with that. And I know this may all sound familiar. It's kind of just going back to last year's great systems with aftermarket parts and their weekly challenges. Those weekly challenges would often force you a little bit outside your comfort zone, but they were really easy to complete, and at least almost every week, we were getting a new gameplay item. Not just a cosmetic item, but a gameplay item. And I'd really love to see more of that with Black Ops 6. I know I bring up Modern Warfare 3 a lot when it comes to this, but that's because they absolutely nailed it with this stuff last year, and I'd love to see more of that come back. And it seems like Black Ops 6 may be moving a little bit in that direction now with an event like this. Perhaps it's just a one-off. I'm hoping that's not the case, but that's one of the reasons.
So when we originally, I believe it was at Call of Duty Next, we asked about what their plans were, where they're going to be aftermarket parts, where they're going to be introducing similar sort of weekly events and weekly challenges like Modern Warfare 3 did. And their answer was essentially, no, we have our own plans for what we're going to be doing. So it seems like they're trying to like backpedal and do more of what Modern Warfare 3 did now with the events that are coming out. They are doing their own things, and it's less frequent. It's different.
I want to make this video just to show some support for this style of an event. And I really think the live service model for this could improve quite nicely if we got more really quick, simple events like this on a regular basis, so we could have a steady stream of gameplay content unlockable via challenges that slightly break up the monotony of regular gameplay without being overly grindy. Now, of course, these are just my thoughts and opinions, though, and I'd love to hear from you guys in those comments down below. How are you feeling about the Shadow Hunt event and how they're handling this? And do you agree with me? Do you like this style of an event more than the standard earn?
From everyone that I've seen, they are, I think you can have the events where it's like pick up skulls or things along those lines every once in a while. But I think you need a bigger variety, not just get XP, or not just get certain amount of kills, or not basically events that aren't just play the game.
XP or pick up items that enemies drop events. And would you be opposed to them spreading out this gameplay content a bit more in the future compared to what they did here? So instead of getting 3 items all at once and then not seeing anything for a few weeks, would you be on board with getting like 1 playable gameplay item every single week, or at least almost every week? Just let me know down below. Now, for those of you that stuck around to the end of the video here, I just wanted to point out I will be live streaming this event on my Twitch channel this afternoon, and I will be playing with viewers on PlayStation as well, so you guys are welcome to hop in and join. And
if you guys didn't know, I do the same thing. Ace streams, I think, every afternoon during the week, and I stream every morning during the week, and I do the same thing. Every single time I play with you guys, because if you play solo, you get screwed by skill-based matchmaking. So I'm assuming that he's doing the same.
I wanted to mention that here. If you guys have never stopped by the Twitch channel, it's definitely a much different vibe compared to the YouTube channel. I'm much more relaxed and just kind of hanging out, having a good time with you, answering questions as well. Oftentimes people have some questions for me. That's the best place to come ask them, because I'll just answer it on the spot. I tend to be quite interactive with chat, or at least I try my best to. And like I said, I play with viewers all the time as well. So if you guys haven't come by the stream yet, I will, of course, leave a link to my Twitch channel in the description of the video. If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated. And don't forget to subscribe for more if you have.
So, events. What do I want to see moving forward? We're clearly not going to be getting the weekly challenges like we had in Modern Warfare 3. I think that's evidently clear. It's not going to be coming. But it seems as though we basically get a new season, and then 2 events, and then a season reload, and then 2 events. So essentially there's 4 events, and then 2 weeks where it's just the new seasonal stuff. I think they need weekly events. I do think so. I think what they're doing is fine, but make them weekly. And then they don't have to be like crazy. Like the Shadow Hunt event is one of the best ones, and it's not a it's not a Terminator event, it's not a Squid Game event, it's not a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle event, it's not syndicated with any sort of pop culture or anything like that. It is plain and simple and just an in-game event with challenges that gives you in-game items that change up the way that the game is played. And this one really did. Like the slipstream perk I'm using on almost every single one of my classes right now. The binary trigger I tried out, I didn't love it, and then the TR2, also not my favorite weapon, but it's there nonetheless. So yes, these type of events are better for sure, but I still think that there's room for improvement. So I'm pretty big improvement at that.